Hi, everyone. It's me, Jordan Long here, doing my YouTube live stream that I do every once in a while. For any of you folks who have been longtime followers of my YouTube fairway, and for some of you who have not been longtime followers, I do YouTube live streams every once in a while. Well, I don't do them every day, but I do them a lot. And it's not that my YouTube live streams are anything outstanding. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Some folks think that your YouTube live stream needs to be the same kind of stuff that you do on your YouTube fairway for it to work. But I'm here to talk about so called YouTube wisdom. There are folks like Think Media or, I don't know, vid.com who believe that the only grounds to why everyone isn't getting the watch time or the followers they want is because they're not putting all these beginning, middle, and end sheet to their film. Oh, that they're not making that they're not doing outstanding lighting work or outstanding drawing work, or you know that they're not doing this or doing that to their films. you know that's what they believe in their mind. They believe that if everyone did that shit, that everyone would be getting the same watch time and the same looking and the same followers. It's not true. I don't have all the time in a day to deal with the binds and hangups of my film shifting tools. And I got three of them. One of them is Microsoft or SmallSoft Film Shifter. And I have made many films on that. But let me just go talk about the hangs up I've had with film shifting tools over the years and why I don't do anything with them. First off, you got the Microsoft Filmmaker or the Microsoft Windows Filmmaker or the SmallSoft Windows Shifter, which they've now just renamed it, but it probably still behaves the same way. It probably gives you beginning, middle, and end sheet to your film. You get some outstanding lighting. Here, you can make some outstanding drawings. You can unput this in, but it's if you're asking asking too much out of it when you want to cut something out. One time I cut something out and it worked. The next time I cut something out, it didn't work. All I got was a sandwich, two films cut in half, and there was nothing I can do with it. So you can see why I and it took and it always took too long to fillet any shifts you did make to the film. It's like, and that's why I don't work with the Microsoft Filmmaker, the SmallSoft Windows Filmmaker, or now known as the SmallSoft Windows Film Shifter. I don't care what name you give it, it probably still behaves the same way. Then another film shifting tool that I used to work with back in the day was ArcSoft Film Furlayer, ArcSoft Webcam Web Shooter Friend. Both of them came with my HP web shooter back in the day, and they were fucked up. They were weak. And at the end of the day, all they could truly do is the same shit, the same stuff. I mean, it's the same things. All they could do here, make a beginning, middle, and end sheet to your film. Outstanding drawing. Make your films brighter. Here, do this. The only thing it was actually good at was fast when it came to filleting your films. It couldn't cut nothing out. Both of them couldn't cut nothing out. Even if you hit the cut thing, nothing would happen. So that one was broke. Then the last one I had to work with was called the CyberLink Power Director, or I guess the Interweb Hookup Strength or Might Filmmaker. When I had with my Acer Reckoner back in the day, and this one I got was broke. All it did was film. That's it. You couldn't shift any of the settings. You couldn't do anything with it. So I don't care what anyone says. They're all worthless, all weak. They don't do anything good. And I know some folks are going to say, "Oh, what about Mackie Cam? What about Sony Vegas? What about the Apple iFilm, the Apple Microsoft iFilm, the Apple's Macintosh iFilm? All clutter, weak, don't do anything. Even last cuts fucked up too. So that's why I don't do anything with them. And don't get me started with VLC player. It's the only thing the VLC player is good at is making film. The only thing the VLC player is good at is playing films. That's it. It can't do nothing else. And the YouTube one, well, that's weak and broken too. The only thing it's good at is making end sheets. So I don't want to hear anyone talk about how great film shifting is and film skimming is and film cutting is. Oh, film cutting is your friend and all that shit. Because I've heard it from folks before, you know. And if that makes it where my films are unwatchable or not glee enough for you folks, because I don't do all that shit everybody else does and all their film shifting tools, it is what it is. You know. So as of right now, I've got two watchers. No thumb up, nothing in the shout out box. You know. Yeah. Now I got 3 watchers. And I know some folks are going to say, well, Jordan, if you would have told everyone you were going to make a YouTube live stream at 1 in the afterday, then you would have gotten a lot of followers. Yeah, well, I didn't know I was in the mood to make one until now. You know? So, for anyone in... let's have a clear my throat. Hello, Jordan. Oh, hi. Hello, one of my followers or watchers. You know? Sorry for clearing my throat. If you just watch my YouTube live stream or whatever I call it, whatever, you will know that I do not shift out my films. That I've just told you that I've had a bad time with every film shifting tool I ever had. Either it be Microsoft or Apple or ArcSoft or Sony or VLC or Mackie or Apple or Last Cut. They're all clutter. They're all weak. They really don't do that much, anything outstanding for your films. And they make it even harder for YouTube to fillet your films. They even make it even worse than that, because all they do is when you want to cut something out, that's when you besmirch your film. All right, we'll see what I can do. If someone said, can we talk more about film shifting? Can you put on film shifting? Yeah, you can do a lot of shit on film shifting tools, but it's nothing outstanding. You know, it's not the same kind of film shifting tools that film businesses and farcier show businesses have, but really that shit's not outstanding either. Oh, you can make things darker, you can make them brighter, you can add an end sheet, or beginning, middle, and end sheet to your film. You can do a lot of stuff. But once you ask it to start cutting things out, that's when you're asking too much. You know, that's when you're asking too much out of VLC or ArcSoft or SmallSoft or Sony or Apple or VLC or Mackie or any of those other ones out there. They take too much time. They don't work very well. So no. So yeah. And you can go back to the beginning of my YouTube live stream when I talked about the hangups that I had with the film shifting tools that I did have. But so you don't have to do that. I'll just I'll tell you. The first film shifting tool I ever worked with, and everyone worked with if they have Windows, was Microsoft Windows Movie Maker or SmallSoft Windows Filmmaker. But it was nothing outstanding. Oh, you could do a beginning, middle, and end sheet to your film. You could make it brighter or darker. You could unput some stuff. But when you want to cut something out, that's when it became a hit and miss. Then I had ArcSoft, Film for Layer, ArcSoft Web Shooter Friend, and it was the same thing, the same stuff, only it could fillet your films faster. Then there was Cyberlink Power Director or Interweb Hookup My Filmmaker. The one I got was broken. All I could do was film. So I don't want to hear how great these film shifting tools are because they're not that great. And the ones I have now are not anything outstanding. I got the SmallSoft Windows Film Shifter, which is probably just as a new name, but it probably behaves the same way. And then at the end of the day, I got VLC Player, but all it's good as playing films. And that's it. The YouTube one, all it's good as making an end sheet. Well, my YouTube live stream started out with four watchers, back to 2. I guess that's when you know how boring you are. Not that I'm boring or anything, but someone else might think my work is boring. One thing I never have to worry about is getting in a hang up of ownership over anyone's work. Since I make my work this way, no one could say it was their work. So I never get in a bind of ownership. So I had 4 watchers. No grounds to know if they're my followers or not. And sorry for clearing my throat there. It happens. It is what it is. I get, hello, Jordan. Can we talk more about film shifting? Jordan, can you unput things in film shifting tools? Jordan, bring Sailor Moon into the stream. We can talk with Jordan. Your follower. Well, we'll see. I don't know if I'm in the mood or not, but we'll see what we're gonna do. So, anyway, here's something else I'm going to talk about here. I started out with 4 watchers. I'm only down to 2. Well, I must have ran them up by being boring, or I must have ran them up because they didn't like hearing the film shifting tools are nothing outstanding. Or either it's a YouTube hang up. YouTube always seems to have hang ups with something. So old YouTube hang up that you would think is said, "Who are you? You're not boring, Jordan." No. Tell that to the folks that are leaving my YouTube live stream because I only got you now. Anyway, so what was I going to talk about? So anyway, out of all the hangups and binds that YouTube has, one of them that loves the show itself from time to time is films getting stuck in filleting. Now, back in the day, this used to happen all the time on YouTube. Back in the day, it didn't care if it was It didn't care if it was a YouTube film uploader. It didn't care if it was a YouTube web shooter taker. It didn't care if it was Google Hangout. It would somehow get films stuck in filleting. And everyone has their forgivenesses for why it happens. Some folks will say, oh, it's your firewall, it's your sandbox, it's your Evilware stronghold tool. Oh, it's your interweb speed. First off, if it was my sandbox or firewall or Evilware stronghold tool or my interweb speed, then the uploading would be in a bind. The uploading would be stuck. And the uploading never gets stuck. It's stuck for laying. And I think sometimes you got to pick and choose your fights with YouTube. And I choose to fight YouTube when it comes to getting films filleted. Some folks choose to fight YouTube over YouTube followership oversight strikes or YouTube ownership strikes. Or I choose to fight them when it comes to films getting stuck in filleting because I know I'll win that fight. If you fight them on a YouTube followership oversight strike, they most likely will say, no, your film's still did not follow the YouTube followership oversight. Or no, if it's between you and whoever owns the film. You're not going to win. But when you fight them on film getting stuck in filleting, you win. You know, it said, do you have any goals for work day, Jordan? I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I don't know what my godmother Zena or Cameron's going to be doing, or my godbrother Zenos or Osmond going to be doing, or my sister Jade, or my godbrother Dylan, or my godsister Gabrielle's going to be doing. I don't know if we have any goals for, work day, which is a holiday that's shared between the Wanted Reichs and the settled land. I don't know what I'm going to be doing on that day. Your guess is good as mine what I'm going to be doing. I don't know. Probably going out, shopping, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to be doing on that day. Your guess is good as mine. I got to write cat food on the shopping list since we're running low on cat food, so I got to write that down. But I should have known about that yesterday, but at the time it looked like we had more than I did. Well, I had 4 followers. Now I'm down to 1, so I guess I am boring to at least 4 out of my followers. Yeah. Oh no, they probably thinking, oh no, it's a Far Eastern Dawnland doll. I don't like that kind of thing. I made a mistake. Gotta leave the film. Or it's a YouTube hang up, and I truly have 4 folks watching my films, and YouTube is making it look like I don't have folks watching my films. Your guess is good as mine. So, some of you folks don't know that Jakks made the first ever Tony Schiavone doll for AEW, and I have to get that. Well, right now you have to buy it for Ringside Gatherings for a pre-order or before buy. So I think by the time November or December comes along, I probably end up getting him for Yule or getting him for a birthday gift next year. Since by the time November and December come along, Amazon will most likely start selling the dolls too. So it just won't only be Ringside Gatherings. So, yeah. So let's get also talking about skilled wrestling. Now, and I know when you talk about skilled wrestling, you got to talk about the Tuskler in the room, AEW, which believes it's the shit. You got AEW, who thinks in 2 years or soon to be 3 years come October or 10th month, they think they're going to beat WWE. But at the end of the day, Shao Kahn and Anthony Kong, Christopher Daniels, Sensei Dutch, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, this DJ Marshall, whoever he is, and Pat Black aren't going to come any more close to beating Stephanie McMahon and Nick Kong, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Kevin Dunn, Britta Love, Michael PX Hayes, Shawn Michaels, or Road Dogg than they were before that. So AEW behaves like they're more like a skilled football business than a skilled wrestling business. Everyone's got to be in a team. Everyone has to be in a team, Oh, you have to win so many matches and so many fights to go for the heavyweight winnings. And AEW doesn't like taking the heavyweight winnings off of anyone when they get wounded. All they do is they choose a filling in one. And then they have the filling in one fight the true one when the true one gets back, which is bullshit. I mean, AEW just couldn't give AEW just couldn't give Dean Ambrose the AEW heavyweight winnings right off the front. Oh no, they had to make him be the filling in AEW heavyweight fighter for so many months, from May or June up until now. because apparently in their mind, just giving it to him when CM Punk got wounded wasn't good enough. So they did all that bullshit, and it was a short match. And they're like, oh, we're building up to the big match. Yeah, right. I don't really think that's not called building up at all. That's called bullshitting. You know, AEW doesn't know anything about saga telling or tale telling. In their minds, they think, oh, he hates him, she hates her, let's have a match, and that's it, as far as their saga telling or tale telling goes. You know? And in their mind, they seem to believe they're the shit, but they're not. You know? They're like, oh, look at us, we got a doll deal. Look at us, we're on TBS and TNT. Yeah, until sometime next year, if you don't get a new deal. Look at us, we got every former WWF, WWE, MACW, WCW wrestler, every former ECW wrestler. Look at us, we own ROH. The truth is, Shao Kahn, Anthony Khan thought they owned ROH, but they kind of got fucked up and made a wrong deal, and they don't fully own it yet. You know? And somehow they seem to think that they're so great. But the truth is, Shao Kahn and Anthony Khan probably know more about skilled football and Wayne building than they do about skilled wrestling. Let's be earnest about that. You know? And if there are any AEW followers out there, and you can't handle me scathing AEW, then that's too bad. You know? So I'm only down to one watcher now. And whoever that one watcher is, it said, I don't know about I didn't know you had a cat. It said, that's cool. Yeah. I have 2 cats. Anyway, I had 4 followers in the beginning. Then something happened and then they left. Well, they're busy effing folk, you know. They got things to do. You know, I picked the wrong time. Oh, I'm boring. There's all bunch of forgivenesses. You know. Well, first I'm going to get something to drink. I'm going to keep off my YouTube live stream. Well, that's what I call it. Well, that looks like I'm not going to be getting any more followers or watchers on my YouTube live stream. Looks like that's as big as going to go, you know. Most likely it's going to be the same thing. It said, is that a Trump shirt? Yeah, it's a Donald Trump shirt. I have about 3 of them, about 4 of them, or at least about 3 of them. You know? Yeah, if there were any Joseph Byron shirts, Byron shirts, I would have gotten them too, but so far I couldn't seek any of them. Well, thank you. I started out with 4 watchers. I don't know if they were followers or not of my film or my YouTube fairway, and they're gone now. No thumb up. You know? So it is what it is. And I know some folks will also ask me, oh, Jordan, do you ever do any choosing? No. If you mean choosing in the Gathering law mode, or in the Reich law mode, the Earldom law mode, or the Near law mode, no, I don't. I never chose in the Force Setter. I never chose in the Folk mode or Windemolt. I never chose the Reich Elder, or the Windemolt or the Folk mode, or the High Diver. I never chose the Earldom Elder, or the Folk mode. Or the High Divers. I never chose the Burrow Elder, or the Folk mode, or the High Diver. I keep out of choosing. You know? So if something goes wrong or they can't guilt me and say, well, who was chose so-and-so, and look what so-and-so did. Well, if so-and-so is answerable and entrusted, They're going to be answerable for the things they say and the things they do. And no one should be guilty of the ones who choose them. But I just keep out of it altogether. You know? Because I choose not to choose. You know? And I know a lot of folks, like it says, yeah, I watch all your films, Jordan. They're great work. Thank you. Well, anyway, I keep out of that. See, and I know there's a guilt comes on. Folks will say, "Oh, well, you should choose who's gonna run the Gabber law mode, or the Reich law mode, or the Earldom law mode, or the Near law mode." Well, there's a lot of folks who do that every year. There's folks that do that. Folks that go out of their way to choose who runs the Gabber law mode, who runs the Reich law mode, who runs the Earldom law mode, or the Near law mode. That's their own business. Great for them. It's not so, the folks who say, well, if everyone did that, well, if everyone chose not to choose, well, that's their own business too. There is no law that says you got to choose anyway. Because at the end of the day, my word will not be heard. No one's going to care about me choosing. At the end of the day, my word isn't going to be heard. No need who I choose. It's not going to be heard. My choosing isn't going to shift the choosing of a forest setter or a Windemolt or a Folkmolt or a Reich Elder or a Windemolt or a Folkmolt or a High Deaver or Earldom Elder or Windemolt or a Folkmolt, or a Burrow Elder and a Folkmolt or a High Deaver. My word's not going to mean nothing. They'll just look at my sheet and say, all right, who's going for so-and-so? All right, put them over there for the other side. But not going to shift that much. Or just throw it in a clutter can. They're not going to know the unlikeness. It said, what do you think about misbirth? Oh, a lot of folks out there who believe that misbirth is slaying and they want to make it unlawful. They want to make it where anyone who does it is a slayer. But I really got no say on that at all because I can't do anything about it. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. I can't say and do anything about it anyway. There's two sides to it. There's those who think, oh, it's slaying, and you're making a sin. They're like, thou should not slay, and that's how they see it. Then the other side say that there are grounds taken why everybody has their grounds taken why they have to get a misbirth, and it's not that they love slaying. It's not that they want to slay folks. There's nothing wrong. That's not that they want to do that. But at the end of the day, there's going to be folks out there who has two sides. And whatever side you stand on, whatever thought you have, it's either going to be right or wrong. And the only one that's going to make either one, you'll know if it was right or wrong, is when you go to heaven and God and Jesus tell you, well, that was the right stand to have, or that was the wrong stand to have. And there's nothing I can do about it. So I can't really say anything on it because either way, you're. Oh, and I just lost you. Now I got no one watching my YouTube live stream now. I had 4 followers. Now I got none. Yeah. That's what happens sometimes in a YouTube live stream. Some of them you get a lot of folks watching. Other times you don't get none. You can get them and then they leave. And I know there might be someone out there who's looking around to see what they can flag. There's always someone out there who's probably thinking, hey, we can flag Jordan on her lawmaking beliefs. Or we can flag her on her worship beliefs. But let me tell you about getting flagged. About 2 years ago, somewhere about 2020, while if anyone is still watching or listening, I made a YouTube live stream with many of my other friends, which are all dolls, like me. And something happened and YouTube said, oh, this film is not following YouTube followership oversight. And since there was a warning, I didn't lose any of my good standing. You want to know what happens if you ever do get, what happens if you ever do get flagged for not following YouTube followership oversight? You lose your gift to upload and live stream for 7 days. And the only time I ever went a week without making an upload was when Dwayne got ill and went in a sick house from the end of February of 27 between while to early March of 27 between YL. And it looks like I just lost my my one follower. Well, I'm not going to give up my YouTube live stream. Not at all. Yeah, well, now you can't. Now I can't even see. The thing is, I can't even trust my YouTube. I can't even trust the YouTube thing. It says I got no one watching my live stream, but you are. Because Dwayne got fleet her sickness. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. That's what happened. And now the YouTube watching thing, it tells you how many folks are watching your live stream is broke because you're still watching, but it says no one's watching. So I guess YouTube broke the thumbs up and the watching thing on the live stream. Great. Now I got something else I got to give them feedback on. Wow. Like a week ago, I had to give them feedback on a film getting stuck in furlaying. Now I got to give them feedback on the live stream thing fucking up. But let me go write that down now, right? Why don't I go write it down now? You can watch me write this on YouTube live stream. You can watch me writing down, dear YouTube, the live stream's having a hang up. And if you're still watching my live stream, unless it paused, unless it still did for me to write the feedback, you know. And it won't let me do anything. Fuck. Okay, I can't even. Fuck, I can't even show them what's fucking up. All right, fine. I can't even show them what's fucking up. That's the sad thing. Like, I can't, like, hit the yellow thing and then say these are the two things that are not working. It just won't let me do it. It'll let me write it and send it with the likeness, but that's it. Like, I can't say, look, YouTube, the thumbs up thing and who's watching thing isn't working because it won't let me yellow square any of that. And did my YouTube live stream steal when I was doing a live stream? Let me know if it did. Because it probably did. Hi. Oh, hello. It said, what happened to the other doll, Jordan? What other? I had many dolls. But the first one I was offshooted as a long time ago was some Barbie doll. Then I got offshooted to being some Far Eastern Filipino, then some Far Eastern Dawnlandish, so I fell down and broke my leer. Then I was a then I was a Eastlandish, both waxed. Then I was glass again as a Dawnlandish. As Eastlandish, both offshoots, big one, small one, until I got this one. And I'm hard waxed, so yeah, if I take a fall, I won't break anything. It says, hello, Jordan, hi. So, YouTube live stream is broke. You can't thumb up anyone, and it won't show anyone watching. And I can't even feedback them. I mean, I can feed them back, but I can't like yellow square it and say, here are the two things that aren't working. Yeah, the YouTube live stream thumb up is broke. Who's watching your live streams broke because I should be getting 4 followers and it's only behaving as if I have none. And I can't thumb up my own work. I wish I could thumb up my own work, but I can't. When you're YouTube live stream, you can't thumb up your own work. Oh, so now it works now. Yeah, I thought it was broke. So I had to send YouTube a feedback on live stream, and then it stilts the whole film. So anyone who was watching my film what was going on probably wondered what was going on. I was writing a live stream. I was writing a feedback. Forgive me. Yeah, well, the other thing is still broke, YouTube. I still don't see anyone else watching my films yet. That's still broke. I had 4 followers. Now I got none. You got the thumbs up thing working, but you don't got the watching thing working. That's broke. And then someone at YouTube's reading this feedback going, well, you said live streams got to hang up, but I don't see anything wrong. Well, I can't. The yellow square when your feedback wouldn't let me yellow square the thumbs up or yellow square who's watching thing. So you just have to take my word for it that it's fucked up. You know? And they got the thumbs up thing working, but they still don't got that other thing is still broke. You know? And everyone likes to guilt it. Everybody likes to guilt it on the tool. Well, you can't guilt every single fuck up and every single bad call on this YouTube tool. Sometimes man and women, women like beings, men and women, make mistakes. They break things. Things fuck up. And I know this side of YouTube is free, and there is no answer, and no one's answerable or entrusted for anything, unless it's YouTube Farseer or YouTube Main. Then you might get some answerability. But do I really want to take them up on that? No, probably not. Because YouTube doesn't really care that much about their followers, their work. They don't care if you're a mate or a non-mate. They always seek ways to fuck with you. If you're a mate, you get fucked with probably more than you do if you're a non-mate. So if you think that YouTube is really, so folks they think when they get the live talk, they think they're so cool. Well, no, feedback is more cooler than live talk, because at least in feedback they'll really work on something. If you get the live talk, you'll get someone that goes, well, did you do this? Did you do that? Oh, well, I can't heal you. I can't heal it. Can you go to someone else? No, you cannot. Because I'm the one that's fucking with you. Well, looks like YouTube got this healed because I got 2 thumbs up and someone's watching. So I guess they made some thought out of my feedback. You know? Which I don't know the 2 folks watching or the 1 folks watching or the 2 thumbs up came from the World Food Archive, if I'm saying that right, or Chico Prio, whoever, I don't know. I don't know if it's coming from YouTube or someone else. Well, I guess we gotta bring someone, do some of my YouTube live stream, make it worth their time. Or they'll just fuck off. And every time I do a YouTube live stream, I always get frightened that someone at YouTube or the YouTube tool is going to fuck up again and say, this film is not following YouTube followership oversight. Strike. You can't make any films or uploads for 7 days. You want to say we're wrong? Go ahead and say we're wrong. We're going to come back and say we're right. You're going to lose that fight. Hey, 4. It's 4 Odin's son. Well, Jordan, it's good to see you're making this YouTube live stream. I started around, around 1 or so. 1/5 between or so any after day. So how is everything? Oh, everything's doing great. The YouTube live stream had a fuck up. Where now Lisa's showing me 2 thumbs up and at least 1 watcher of it. 2. They got that healed up. I had 4 of them. Now I only got 2. Well, the way I look at it is that you're frightened about what happened a long time ago to one of your old YouTube live streams. Oh, the one I did what? The one I did about somewhere in 2020 YL. It was a Wednesday. It's all I knew. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't worry about it, I mean, they got all healed up. And there's nothing you can do, Jordan, about folks who choose to watch your films and your live streams and who chooses not to watch them. Didn't you come from 5 and below? Well, yes, this offshoot of me did come from 5 and below. You could also get this offshoot of me from Walmart, but it'll be worth a lot more than 5 and below would be selling it for. Well, that's great to know. Well, Jordan, you have a really cool YouTube live stream. Yeah, I do. I'm just losing my followers. I had 2, now I'm back to 1. 2 thumbs up, 1 watching. Does that mean my work is boring? I don't know if your work is boring or not. At the end of the day, Jordan, I think that's a foughten belief with no truth to back it up. Well, you're probably right about that, 4. That's probably always going to be a YouTube flaw or hang up or whatever you want to call it, a bug, where it always shows you the wrong, always makes you think that you have no one watching your live stream when you do, makes you think you have no thumbs up when you do. It's probably the way it is what it is. And how can someone keep everyone happy for a long YouTube live stream? It just cannot be done. Yeah. And I like to think my YouTube live streams are podcasts. I can call them what I want to call them, Yeah, live streaming probably is where it came. That's probably where they got the whole live stream from. It's probably from podcast stuff. Yeah. And the YouTube live stream was offshooted from Google Hangout, which was the first way a live stream could be done. Yeah. Do you think live stream, Jordan, is the steadholder or took over for YouTube web shooter taker? No, I don't think so. And if it was a fill-in for it, it doesn't behave like it. Yeah, the film's being filmed live, it's being filleted while it's being uploaded if you're that thing. But at the end of the day, I don't think it took over for the YouTube web shooter taker, which was on YouTube starting from 2005 YL to about 2005 YL until 25th between YL. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Well, you had 3 followers. Now you're back to 2. 2 thumbs up, 1 follower, 1 watcher. Yeah. I got that yawning going on now. Yep. My god sister Gabrielle has these really, really long, really loud yawns. And everyone says she's a loudmouth, and they don't like it when she yawns. They say she gets right next to someone and yawns like that, or she passes wind right next to someone. Yeah, well, that is, shameful. That's not showing anyone on look. So, anyway, look, I gotta be going now. I just want to come in and see how your YouTube live stream was doing. Formerly Google Hangout. Oh, Google Hangout was its own thing. Google Hangout was Google's live stream tool, which ran for many years on the Google uh, reckoning, and it wasn't offshooted to YouTube until about 23rd between YL until about 28 between YL when YouTube live stream came along. Then Google Hangout was taken away. Yeah. Is Google Hangout even a thing anymore? I don't think so. I think Google did away with it, and I think the only thing they do now is called Google Meet, and I don't really think Google Meet's the same thing as Google Hangout. Shit! Yeah, fuck my stand. Yeah. I just say, fuck my stand. Yeah, like I want to say, Jordan says, fuck my stand. I almost fell down. Well, everyone, that was 4 Odin subs. Ugh. From Disney's Marvel's 4 films, from the 4 drawing books to 4 funny books and all that other stuff. And you see, I almost fell off my stand. I almost had myself, almost fell off my stand. This is a very cheap stand. And keep in mind, the shoes don't even fit very well. It said, this man doesn't even watch. This man didn't even. Yeah, I did. I did watch it. So I get someone on here telling me that I didn't watch Clash at the Castle or Strike at the Stronghold. I did. I did. I watched the kickoff match and I watched the matches after that. I watched all of them. So now he's going around bullshitting and saying that no one watched the show when they did watch the show. Well, now he's been hushed and locked from my YouTube fairway. And if you come back with any more of your any more of your YouTube fairways, I'll hush and lock them too. So yeah, there seems to be some folks on YouTube nowadays, well, at least this creep, I guess, who goes around and says, "Oh, you know nothing about wrestling. Oh, you never watched any wrestling." I did. If I didn't watch Clash at the Castle or Strike at the Stronghold, how the fuck would I know what matches went on and who watched them if I didn't watch the show or didn't go to the show? Has he got to answer? Does he got to answer for that? No. Any of my 4 watchers on here, does he or she have an answer for it? I would say they do not. So yeah, I almost fell off my stand, and there might be someone who thinks, "Oh, Jordan, you should get someone to oversee your shout out box. Well, here's a little hang up with that. You see, I know what to look for. I know who to hush and who to lock and who not. Some folks don't know what to hush and lock. They'll just hush and lock all kinds of things. So that's why I choose to do it myself, because I know what to hush and what to lock, and what not to hush and what not to lock. If you know what I mean. So anyway, I had four anyway. For anyone else who's still watching, YouTube's having a hang up telling me how many folks are watching. But for all you four folks that are still watching out there, For Odin's Son was on my YouTube fairway. It goes, the song led to the crowd. It was called Clash at the Castle. It did not take back at Anger by Oasis. Well, I'm talking about the WWE show, the WWE show they did yesterday over in Wales. That's the show I'm talking about, not the song that was done by the songster band Oasis. All right. He didn't say song. He said he didn't watch the show. Whitby, I know he told me he didn't even watch the show. So it's not he didn't watch the song. All right. You want me to go through and undo that so I can tell you what he said? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to two-forward guess myself. He knows what he said. And he knows what he said. And he wasn't and he was not talking about the song. He was talking about the WWE show. So it is what it is. All right. I'll give him one more. I'll give on Hush just to say that's what he's talking about. No, no, no. He knew what he was talking about. He knew he was talking about. So, no, I'm keeping him hushed and locked because he knows what he's talking about. So, it is what it is. And I'm just going to let everybody know there is some folks on YouTube who go around and say, oh, you didn't watch this. Yeah, there was someone on YouTube who went around and, said, oh, you know nothing about wrestling. You didn't watch the show. Well, I did watch the show. I did go to the show. I did watch it. He wasn't talking about the Oasis song of the same name. Well, he did a lot of good stuff for the wrestling business. I will give Vince McMahon on look for what he did for the wrestling business, but not for all the sad, unlawful things that he did to other folks, though. Yes, I do like drawing films or live drawings. I like Sailor Moon, and that happens to be the only one I do like. Other folks out there might like, oh, Lindworm Ball Z. They might like Pokemon. They might like Speed Runner. But I like Sailor Moon. You know, that's the only one I do like. you know. But looks like I might I don't know. Let's see. It says also another thing that it said Sailor Moon's cool. Ain't that like shit? Isn't that like witchy girls? Yeah, girls that shapeshift and become over good doers. So anyway, a lot of folks out there. So when it comes to getting Sailor Moon dolls, the ones that I always hope to get, but I can never get because the Irwin and Bandai ones are always worth way too much on Amazon when they do have them. They're worth way too much on eBay when they have them. Is Sailor Saturn, and and Emerald and Diamond. I get those two. I guess they would be set. Now I know a lot of folks are into the new stuff as far as the dolls go, but I'm into the old Irwin, old Bandai dolls. So I know I'll never ever get Sailor Saturn because she's just worth way too much when she was on Amazon or Strong Woman, and worth way too much on eBay. So just gonna have to yield on that, you know? And it's not like I can ask anyone else to buy that for me because some folks might feel slighted over that. Some folks might feel slighted over me asking that. Some folks might say, "Oh, Jordan, now you're interweb asking." You know, you know, they might say, "Jordan, now you're." They might say, "Jordan, now you're interweb asking." Now, they might say, is what they might say. You know, when there are folks that do that all the time, there are folks that have Patreon or Backer or Forder, folks that go and GoFundMe and do all that shit all the time. Folks that always ask folks to buy things and back them up in their YouTube fairways and stuff like that. So if they do it, then I shouldn't have to have the double standard put on me and say that I'm wrong for doing it. But some folks out there do feel slighted over that. Some folks do think that it's wrong for you to ask someone to get you something as a gift or whatever on the interweb because they're like, you got your own gal, you can do this. And some folks think that some folks are taking the upside on others, but that's not true at all. I don't take the upside on any of my friends on the interweb or my friends on YouTube. Never have, never will. You know? But I know none of you folks are going to do that, so I'll just shut up about it. And I'm sorry I brought it up. You know? And if any of you folks out there feel slighted by me asking for something like that, then forgive me. Then if Sailor Saturn is worth too much, then at least Ringside Gatherings has Tony Schiavone, and I'd like to have him, and that's probably not worth that much. But we'll see what you folks are going to do. But I know that you folks probably don't know me that well. You folks probably don't know where I live or my wire send or any name or anything like that. And I'm sorry I brought it up. Forgive me for that if you're slighted by it. Okay, this stands fucked. Yeah, I got a really, really fucked up stand. I do. It said, I guess Vince McMahon should be put in the WWE Hall of Fame for all the things he did for WWE from between 82 YL to 2022 YL. But that's up to Stephanie McMahon and Nick Kong and Hunter Hearst Helmsley if they think that he should be put in WWE Hall of Fame for all the things he did during his time as the owner, as the former seat man and former head leadership fellow at WWE. Your guess is as good as mine if he's going to be putting it or not. That's a call that only Stephanie McMahon and Nick Kong can make. I guess that Hunter Hearst Helmsley can make if they feel that he will be putting it or not. What do I think of Joseph Biden before I end this film? I think he's doing all right as the force setter to wanted rights. Is he flawless? No. No man or woman's flawless. They all make mistakes. They all say and do things that are wrong. No man or woman's flawless or sinless. But I do think he does work hard. He does want to help folks. He does want to do what he can as the force setter to wanted rights. Some folks out there say, oh, he's too old to be the force setter to wanted rights. Why did they choose someone who's elderly? Well, Donald Trump wasn't young either himself, Donald Trump is like in his 70s too or something like that. So he wasn't young when he got chosen. And some folks are like, oh, well, he's fucked in the head, but they don't want to tell him to leave. Well, I don't know. All you folks out there who either like Joseph Bauer and don't like Joseph Bauer, and that's your own business, but you're stuck with him either way until 2024 YL. And either Donald Trump runs again or someone else runs again, or think of this one, Harold Stern runs. Whoever's going to whoever's going to stand for force setter to wanted rights in 2024 YL, I don't know. And as far as the Kamala Harris, I think she does all right as the under force setter. I don't know if she's ever going to make it to become force setter, though, to be honest with you. She might become force setter to wanted rights years later, years after Joseph Bauer is out, after his 2 runs are done, I guess. It said, Jordan, you don't look back at right? I never heard that song. I mean, I've heard of the Aces, but I never heard of any of the songs that they did. So your guess is good as mine. I'm not really good at that kind of thing. Some folks are skilled at it, but I'm not really skilled at singing the words to all songs. Anyway, I guess that's all the time I got. Before I leave, I do want that Tony Schiavone doll that Jax made for Tony Schiavone for AEW. So if someone is probably going to ask me, well, Jordan, where's your milling send? I guess I'll put that in my live stream. And if someone wants to go and Ringside Gatherings and buy that for me, then that would be cool. If not, then I thank you all the same. Better go and do that while we're at it. Good luck out there, Jordan. It said, pick up the song right now by Jonathan Cena. Whoever Jonathan Cena is. Well, I don't know who Jonathan Cena is. I'm sorry, I don't know who Jonathan Cena is, who this songster is. Well, looks like I'm going to bring, oh, what's up, Jordan? Well, what's up So, Jack Pacific made Tony Schiavone's doll for AEW. But Ringside Gatherings has it, but they won't have it to sell until at least October or 8th month or 10th month. And I think that I need to get Tony Schiavone. So I'm thinking sometime in November, either for Yule or for my birthday, I'll get him. And I know some folks out there might feel slighted if I ask them to go buy it for me. Someone who doesn't even know me, and it'd be like, Jordan, you're interweb asking for stuff. It said, yes, I did see Paige's film Wrestling with My Kin. Yes, and it was a good film. Well, I put the other doll. The other doll is standing. The other doll's somewhere in the room. All right, now I gotta go now. I want to say thank you to everyone coming on my YouTube live stream and watching my films and in my shout out box. You know, no, I never saw the film of Xavier Woods. I'm sorry. Um. Anyway, that's all the time I got. I only had one fellow on my YouTube live. Only had 4 Odin's son on my YouTube live stream. I'll see you all later. Bye.